Hey everyone, I thought I would do something different and do a video update and tell you what's been going on, what we're doing, what's going on with the games and all. I've been pretty absent, I know, but lots been going on the past year for me. My wife and I are actually moving to France in about 2 months, and we've been planning this for over a year. And in the past year, we've moved twice, sold our house. We're staying temporarily with family right now. I'm totally cramped. I literally cannot move my chair to the right enough to get in frame. I can't turn it and show you the amount of clutter we've got in the house right now because we're trying to get packed up to move. And so it's just like just a small mitigated disaster at the moment. But it's really exciting. And so anyways, I apologize for a little unprofessional quality of this video, but I don't even have my little lights set up to have some decent lighting. But anyway, so we started planning to move to France a little over a year ago, and we went over for a few weeks to the scouting trip. Decided it was definitely something we wanted to do, and so it has just been an incredible amount of work. At my point in my life, I've accumulated quite a few things, and so one of the biggest challenges is like getting rid of everything that you absolutely don't have to have. And so anyways, it's just been a tremendous amount of work. It has really taken a toll on how much time I could work on my business. And so I've been very frustrated not having made more progress on the games this past year. We've been working on Awesome Asteroids for the Quest. And I thought I was going to do that last summer, get that out last summer, and then move on to D-Day and possibly a sequel to Awesome Asteroids. And Oculus, or I should say Meta, still can't get used to calling it Meta. I was talking with my rep at Meta, and they expressed an interest in asteroids and kind of giving me some additional exposure if I do some things. So I started going down that path, and so it took longer. We were pushing into maybe like doing a release in December, and then it became, well, we'll do an early release, early access release in December followed by a full release in Q1. And then that turned into, well, we need you to do more things to it. So then so long story short, instead of Awesome Asteroids releasing last summer on Quest, it's going to release maybe this summer on Quest, but it's basically going to be a completely new game. It's got multiplayer, it's got crafting, it's got like an open world sandbox. So it really, I'm not even sure I'm going to call it Awesome Asteroids. It just really it is that game, but with just so much more. So, but it'll be coming to Quest. It's already out in early access, although a lot of those features are not in the current build that's out there. And it'll release on PSVR 2, obviously, and probably Steam as well. At the same time, still working on D-Day, and I had started working on some changes. I wanted to get a patch out to D-Day earlier this year, and with the move and everything that's going on, I got to a point where I got the AI. I made some improvements to the AI. It didn't really do what I wanted to do. And, with everything else, I just didn't have time to really finish it up and get a patch out, but I still want to do that. And I am planning that as soon as Awesome Asteroids, or whatever we call it, gets released this year, then we'll, turn towards, really full development on D-Day. And I've got, I've been doing some work on that. I've got some stuff. I've got some prototype characters, so you kind of get an idea of the art style we're going to go with in the sequel. Along the way, as we work on that, obviously we're going to be patching the code, and hopefully that's when we'll finally see a lot of changes to the original D-Day as we start working on that game. I mean, ideally it'll release sometime in, let's see, 2027, I would think. I was kind of thinking maybe it'd be like a February, March release, but that could be very optimistic with us moving and all that. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update and tell you I really appreciate the support everyone's has given us over the years, and I really hate that the chaos of this past year has kept me from doing very much at all in the games, but we're not haven't gone anywhere, and I'm still trying to get the things out. One of the things I started working on, I realized at the start of this year when I was trying to get some, work done to D-Day, I've been working on Awesome Asteroids for so long. And when I went back to touch the D-Day code, it was like, oh my gosh, I cannot remember like what this did. And there was just so many things. I mean, that game was just such a big code base. And so I started, realizing that there were some AI tools that might could help. And I looked at like how they can like analyze code, and like I could literally give it like the AI code base and say, hey, analyze this, tell me, do you see any bugs? And if I want to do this or whatever. So I started looking at what they were doing with AI agents, and I realized that for me to really effectively be a small studio and yet still get new games out, support old games, that I really needed to embrace the AI technologies that are out there. So I started working on an AI agent that could actually help me with my coding, that I could basically say, while I'm working on Awesome Asteroids, I could basically say, hey, I need you to go in and refactor D-Day, find bugs and all this and all that. So it's working on that, and I've actually made some really good progress. And it's at the point, instead of it just being a utility to help me with my own coding, I'm actually going to eventually release it as a coding agent that others can can use to make games, to make web pages, whatever. It's really got a lot of capabilities. So I'm almost to the point I'm going to be able to really start turning it loose and just saying, go in and fix D-Day, fix the AI. We need this or whatever. I'm really hoping that that'll allow me to, really make the changes I want to D-Day. While I'm also, really working heavily on getting, Awesome Asteroids fixed. But it's true. I know there's a lot of hate for AI, but and I've done contract work in the past on some AI stuff, and so I'm pretty well versed on where it's going, what it's doing, and it's not going to go away. So I mean, people just need to, I guess, learn to work with it, and there's some real issues with it. But anyway, so I know there's probably going to be some people hating on the fact that I'm using AI, but as a small studio, I mean, I couldn't do what I'm doing right now without it. The amount of stuff I'm able to do so much faster, it's really helped out a lot.